such a long time since I've been on YouTube, since I've made a YouTube video, or honestly, any social media content, really. Like, I've taken a big break from social media, so I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who is still here. People who are still supporting me, commenting on my old videos or my community posts and just asking how I'm doing and saying that they miss me. Like, y'all, I really do appreciate you so much. And moving forward, I'm looking forward to just incorporating more YouTube videos since I have a better idea of what my schedule looks like these days. It's just been so busy. From my latest drop, I recently dropped some desk plugs and they have been going crazy. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone who has been supporting that new launch, and also just motherhood. Nora just turned 2. She just turned 2 and it has been crazy, to say the least. Crazy in a good way. Like, she's really busy, and for the longest she wasn't taking naps. We have just now started to be able to like have her start to take naps more regularly again. That was hard for a while because I was drained, she was drained, and she was not wanting to take a nap, and it was just a lot. So I'm glad that she's back to taking naps. I got my little monitor right here. She's back to taking naps, and I can film on certain days. So yeah, my goal moving forward is to create like 2 videos a month. So I might do like behind the scenes, and then maybe like tips and tricks for all things small business, or just like tips. I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know what type of videos y'all want to see moving forward, since I'll probably only be doing 2 a month. I know that that's not a lot, you know, given everything that I used to do. I used to do about 1 to 2 videos a week, but now given the circumstances, I know what all I can do. So my goal is going to be 2 videos a month. So let me know what 2 videos you want to see, what type of topics, what type of videos. Like, just let me know. I'm open to any suggestions, and no suggestion is not helpful. So yeah, let me know what type of videos you like to see, what videos helps you to improve your business. All that being said, I am so glad to be back on YouTube, and so glad to just be a part of this community again. Also support other small business owners. Like, I haven't been able to watch YouTube as much as I used to, so I'm excited to get back to watching YouTube whenever I have time, and just supporting everyone. Yeah. So this market that I did was about 2 weeks ago. It was a market that I've already done before last year, and we're gonna get into why I decided to do it again a little later in this video. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all some behind the scenes and day of content of the actual event. Let's get to it. beautiful. I hope I don't get flagged for this music, but I'm all set up and I'm excited. I got here a little early, but not too early, and I feel good. This is my first event in a really long time, so I hope I still got it. I hope I still have the customer service and the people skills. We'll see. Another check-in. We are doing okay. I've had several friends come, or a couple friends come, and yeah, I got to see my friend Mercedes. She's also here, but it's a little slow. This event is slow, but it's been good. It's been good just because I'm happy. I hope I don't get flagged for this music, but it's worth it for y'all. I'll see you later.
I love them.
Oh, they look so pretty.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so that was the last market of the year. I cannot believe that I made it this far. Like a whole year of markets. I've been doing markets for a really long time. Like I don't even remember the first time I ever did a market, but I've been doing them for a while. With this one being the last one of the year, I'm not gonna lie, it's like a breath of fresh air. I'm like, okay, I'm done with the market scene. They really are hit or miss. I feel like they've been hit or miss for a while, and I think people want to support small business owners, but they want to do it online, which I appreciate because I've seen the pros of that with having an Etsy shop, having my own shop. Like people do support small business owners. I think a lot of people just aren't getting out and shopping. And honestly, I don't get out and shop. I can't really point fingers and be like, y'all need to come out and shop because I don't go out and shop. So I appreciate everyone who does go to the markets, but they have been a little bit slower. Like as far as just the marketing of the markets and then the actual day of the markets, I feel like there are things that could draw people out and bring people outside, but I haven't really seen that too much in my specific community. So I can't speak for your community, but for mine, it just feels like compared to last year, the markets just aren't as festive. It wouldn't have been a market without my notebook. I take this notebook literally, or I try to take this notebook to almost all of my markets just so I can journal the day of, to just note down anything that I noticed during the event, or things that I didn't necessarily like, things that I love, things that customers said, my sales, all that good stuff. I put it in this journal. I also write down my sales. I know that that's super old school, but I just like to go back and be able to see like what sold, what didn't sell. And I also mark down like my sales goal and all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna use this today as far as just a reference to how this day went. All right, so this market took place on December 1st, which was a Sunday. And it lasted from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., which wasn't that long. How many hours is that? I think that's about 5 hours. So yeah, it wasn't bad. The vendor fee was $95. As far as the demographic, I would say it was definitely an older crowd. There weren't a lot of young people that came through, and I found that my target audience is late teens, early 20s, or like, you know, like my age, like later 20s. but there weren't a whole bunch of girlies. It wasn't a whole bunch of girlies there. It was like a lot of older people shopping for maybe grandkids, which could have been good, but I personally had a lady come to my booth and she was looking at claw clips that I sell, and she was like, "Oh, this is so cute," talking to her friend. "This is so cute, but I'm not gonna spend $18 for it," walks away. And I was like, you know what? It is what it is, because I have customers that do pay $18 for it and think that my work is worth it. So yeah, bye. Anyways, I did want to give y'all a little story about the last market, because I'm not gonna lie, from the videos, I'm not sure if it looks slow, but this event was a lot slower than what I remembered the event being the last time. And while I was at this event, I had enough time to go back in my notebook. Y'all, I tell you, I take this thing everywhere, but I have my notebook, the last holidays pop up that I did. And I look back and I was like, I was tripping. The market was slow the last time. Why did I come back? No, y'all, it was slow. So I'm gonna go back and see, I'm gonna tell y'all like what the event was like. I think that I just had a really good time because it was just fun. I remember having so much fun at this market. Like, it almost felt like I was just a customer attending. Like, that's how much free time that I had at the market last year. And honestly, that's how much free time I had at the market this year. So yes, let's review what this market was looking like last year. All right, so this was the market. I'm not sure if you're remembering, but I made a video about this market. It was a holiday market. It was super festive. They had like Santa Claus and an elf, and they had hot cocoa, like a hot cocoa bar. It was just very festive and super, super cute. And I loved it. I thought that it was so cute. I loved the theme, but the foot traffic was a little slow. I will say, according to my journal, my first sale wasn't until 11:18 a.m. For the latest market, my first sale wasn't until 11:44 a.m. Yeah, that's a slow start, y'all. That's a really slow start, especially compared to last year. It was a lot slower of a start. The booth fee last year, so I rented out a half booth, and this was the event where my booth got taken. So the person where I was supposed to split a booth with, they ended up setting up to where I couldn't even set up. I couldn't set up like at all. So the organizer, they ended up moving me next to the help and info desk, and yeah, I got a full booth, and I didn't pay for that. So the full booth, which I ended up getting this year, it was $95. So it probably was around the same last year, but I just didn't even want to risk the chances of the same thing happening again, as far as like what happened to me last year with the half booth. So I did get a full booth. So my booth fee was $95 in comparison to the $50. And my sales were super slow. I didn't have really a lot of sales at all. I did a lot of trades with this specific event. Like, it was other vendors that I knew and I was friends with, and we traded things. So I traded with Fro Bandy's cookies for, I think, a bookmark, and I got like a corn dog and like stickers and stuff. It was just so much fun, y'all. I remember getting like hot chocolate, and I got a spiked apple cider. It was a really good time, and I was just talking to the vendors. And I think that's why I thought that it was a successful event, because it was fun. And yeah, y'all, it definitely wasn't all that successful last year. It was not all that successful. So going back to this specific event, the most recent one, it was kind of a similar situation. So I had a good time. I saw one of the girls. So one of the girls that I go to Bible study with, she was also a vendor there, and we didn't know that we're going to be vendors. So it was just so fun seeing her there and just being able to talk, and we would just go back and forth to each other's booths. I also met just a random girl. She was so sweet. Yeah, it was fun in that way, like being able to talk and just socialize with different people. But as far as the sales weren't really happening. Like, the foot traffic was okay after that 12 o'clock mark, like after people got out of church and were going to lunch maybe. But this time around, we didn't have nearly as many food trucks. I don't think there was a single food truck. I think they had a coffee truck, but not a food truck, no legit food truck. Like last year they had a Korean corn dog stand and it was more festive. So I feel like those different aspects, it brought more people out, kind of like what I was talking about earlier. So it just drew people to the event. And this year we didn't really have that draw like we did the year before. I did have a couple friends come. I had my friends Allie and Quinlan. They came, husband and wife, and they came to support me in my business. They bought some Christmas gifts, so I'm so grateful for them. And then I also had another friend stop by, T, and it was just good to see everybody, all my friends who came out to support me. It really did mean a lot because I was not expecting them to, but it's just the little things like that that mean the most to me, like not having those expectations of people, but seeing how people support me without having those expectations on them. It just warms me up inside, and it was just such a joy seeing them. And that is another thing that made the event just really positive. I only bought one thing this time around. I bought Nora a little ornament. It's a little bear ornament. If I take a picture of it, I'm gonna put a little picture over here. It was a handmade ceramic ornament. So yeah, that was cute. And then I did get some hot cocoa. Yeah, so that's the only money that I spent at the event. So it wasn't too much. Like I didn't splurge out on food this year. I did want to go ahead and break down my sales. From 11 to 12, I made 1 sale. From 12 to 1, I made 3 sales. From 1 to 2, I made 3 sales as well. And from 2 to 3, I made 2 sales. And from 3 to 4, I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales. And in total, I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I made a total of 14 sales, which isn't bad. Like a sale is a sale, and it's a blessing at the end of the day. Like me having that many sales is a lot compared to like the foot traffic that we had. Like it really is a blessing that I performed this well, and I am really grateful for it. So my sales goal for this event was $250. And my sales goal for this event was $270. And how I get my sales goal is I multiply the vendor fee times 2, and I add that to my hourly rate, and I multiply that by the hours that I worked. So that came out to $270. I didn't quite meet my sales goal this time around. I was about $25 shy, but nonetheless, I am satisfied with making the money that I did, because again, like a sale is not always granted. These markets, you never know how they're gonna go really unless you have that experience with them before. And like I said, I've had that experience. I had the experience with this market, and I knew that it was a slower market, so that is my fault. That is something I should have been aware of before I went into the event. And it slipped my mind. Like I had that much of a good time the last time. But anyways, I'm glad that I was able to go out to this event and have my last event of the year, my last pop-up of the year. That is just such an accomplishment. Again, I'm just so thankful that I went to this event and I was able to make it my last event of the year, just to celebrate this huge milestone of getting this far with pop-up markets. Like it's a lot of work. So if you haven't done one before, just pat yourself on the back whenever you do finish one. It's just a lot of talking, and the prep work, all of it is a lot. The ins and outs of running a business is a lot. So showing up to a pop-up market and more than one at that is a huge accomplishment. Was it worth it? I feel like every single market is worth it because you gain some type of experience. So for me personally, again, this experience that I gained was to make sure that I reflect on past events that I've worked. So I can't just solely depend on my memory of, oh, that was a good event, because a good event to me the last time meant that I had a fun time. I didn't necessarily make the money that I could have made at a different event, but because I had such a good time the last time, I just remember it being a fun event, so I decided to sign up again. I will say that granted that I didn't meet my sales goal, maybe it wouldn't be worth it in that sense of not meeting my sales goal. But again, I was able to get my name out there. So there are pros to that. I was able to gain new customers. I was able to share my name. I was able to give out my business cards. Yeah, so it was good in that way. Would I do it again? I think in the future, if I were to do any more holiday markets, I would look for a market that is definitely going to be festive. I would look for a market that has the draw that the market that I went to last year, the same market that I went to last year, how it had that draw of just like the different activities and how festive it was. Like I would want to be a part of an event like that. How the event was ran this year, I feel like it necessarily wasn't worth it because it didn't have that draw. It didn't have that same pool for customers. So I'm not sure if I'll do this event next year unless they definitely do heighten up the marketing and also just the festivities of it all. I also want to shout out my friend Tiara. I just got back from celebrating this huge milestone of completing a year of markets, and it feels so great to have friends that pour into you in a way that you don't even think to pour into yourself. Like she was telling me that even though this seems so minuscule to me, that completing a year of markets is a big milestone, is something that should be celebrated. Thank you so much, Tiara, for just pulling me out the house and helping me to celebrate this big milestone. It truly means a lot, like I've told you so many times. But yeah, she deserves all the praise and recognition because she truly is a good friend. And I'm so thankful to have a friend and neighbor like her. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Again, I appreciate you for being here, given that I haven't made a video in what feels like ages. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'll have another video dropping this month and you'll see what that's about. I'm super excited, especially given that it's the holiday season, and this specific video that's coming up in the next week or two is going to be for those business owners who are wanting to really get on top of their orders and really get on top of how to manage their orders and manage them well. All that being said, thank you for being here. Again, thank you times 1,000, times infinity. I am just so grateful to be back, and I just love this community so much. So I'm excited to show y'all what I've been working on behind the scenes. And yes, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.